Right now, somebody is standing in a pharmacy line paying for something they could be growing in their own backyard. And here's the part that stings. They look at June and decide the season's over. So they wait. They second guess. They tell themselves, next year. And by October, they're staring at an empty raised bed, still tired, still buying the same wilted greens and plastic clamshells, still wondering why they feel the way they feel. Here's the truth. June isn't the end of anything. June is one of the most powerful planting windows of the entire year. And these vegetables, they're not decoration. They're not just food. Every single one does something measurable inside your body. Your blood sugar, your blood pressure, your gut, your liver, your eyes. People who get that have a garden that works like a medicine cabinet. Everybody else has a flower bed. So, today, 10 healing vegetables you can plant this June. For each one, I'll tell you exactly what it does inside your body, then exactly how to grow it. Depth, spacing, sun, water, and the one mistake that quietly kills your harvest before it starts. And I'm saving one for the end that almost nobody grows. Most people have never heard of it. It thrives in the exact heat that murders every other green in your garden, and gram for gram, it leaves spinach in the dust. Stay with me for that one. Number 1. Okra. Let's open with the plant that dares you to grow it in June. Okra loves heat, head to toe. Plant it in cold April soil, and it just sits there sulking. Plant it now, in warm June ground, and it takes off like it's got somewhere to be. June soil is exactly what okra wants. Warm, settled, no more cold nights. It germinates best above 70 degrees, right where we are. But here's why okra earns a spot in a healing garden. Cook it, and it releases a thick, slippery mucilage, the texture people either love or fight. That mucilage is the medicine. In your gut, it forms a gel that coats and soothes the intestinal lining and slows how fast carbs hit your bloodstream. One clinical review of diabetic patients found an average drop of nearly 15 milligrams per deciliter in fasting blood sugar. It's also loaded with folate, which is why it's been quietly recommended for generations during pregnancy. Okra hates having its roots disturbed, so direct sow straight into the bed. Half an inch deep, 12 to 16 inches apart, rows about 36 inches apart. Full sun 6 to 8 hours in rich, well-drained soil, heavy clay, work in compost first. Here's the trick almost nobody does. Soak your seeds overnight before planting. That seed coat is brutal. Soaking softens it and speeds germination. And the mistake that trips up every beginner is harvesting. Those pods go from tender to woody in days. Check the plant every single day. Pick them at 3 to 4 inches while they snap clean. And remember, the more you pick, the more it produces. Roasted, grilled, dropped into gumbo to thicken it naturally. A vegetable that fixes your dinner and flattens your blood sugar in the same bite. Number 2, kale. Now, you might be thinking, kale in June? Isn't that a cold weather crop? Here's the move. You sow it now so it builds a deep, tough root system through the summer. Then it rewards you with sweet, tender leaves as autumn drops and mellows out the bitterness. Kale's reputation isn't hype. It's packed with compounds called glucosinolates, which your body converts into isothiocyanates, the compounds researchers study for liver detoxification, helping your body clear out toxins. On top of that, its prebiotic fiber feeds the good bacteria in your gut, which produce short-chain fatty acids that keep your intestinal lining strong and your immune system steady. This is a liver and gut plant, top to bottom. Sow seeds 1/4 to half an inch deep in loose, well-drained soil, pH around 6 to 6.5, keep it consistently moist. The mistake here is full June sun with no relief. Summer heat makes kale grow woody and bitter, so give it afternoon shade and lay down mulch to keep the root zone cool. That one change is the difference between sweet kale and sad kale. Pick baby leaves in as little as 30 days, or let it mature for full heads. Harvest the outer leaves and let the center keep producing. Massaged into a salad, crisped into chips, thrown into a soup, every bite doing quiet work on your liver. Number 3, zucchini. The vegetable gardeners either brag about endlessly or try to give away by the bagful to anyone who'll make eye contact. Plant it in June and you'll probably do both. June is the sweet spot. Warm soil, warm nights, and a full summer ahead for this plant to do the one thing it loves: produce relentlessly. But here's what most people never realize they're eating. Zucchini is one of the best garden sources of two carotenoids, lutein and zeaxanthin. These accumulate in the macula of your eye, where they filter out harmful blue light and protect your retinal cells. Research links them to lower risk of age-related macular degeneration and cataracts. The skin holds the most vitamin C and B6, so don't peel it. You're eating eye protection that happens to taste good. Direct sow, about an inch deep, 18 to 24 inches between plants it likes to sprawl. Full sun, 6 to 8 hours, rich compost-heavy soil. Water deeply, but let the surface dry slightly between waterings. Here's where people panic. Flowers dropping with no fruit. Don't. Zucchini grows male and female flowers separately, and sometimes the pollinators just haven't shown up. So, do their job, dab a small paintbrush in a male flower, transfer the pollen to the center of a female, works every time. Pick at 6 to 8 inches. Any bigger and they turn watery and seedy. And if one hides and turns into a baseball bat overnight, that's zucchini bread. Grilled, spiralized, stuffed, baked. The most productive eye health crop you'll ever grow. Number 4, peppers. Transplant pepper seedlings in June, and the warm soil shields them from transplant shock and pushes fast root growth. The ideal nighttime soil temperature for setting them out is around 65 degrees, exactly where June lands. Here's the hidden superpower. Peppers are loaded with vitamin C, and vitamin C is what unlocks the iron in your plant foods. The iron in spinach, beans, and greens is the hard-to-absorb kind. Vitamin C converts it into a form your gut can actually take up. Pair that with the vitamin B6 in peppers, which your body needs to build red blood cells, and you've got a genuine anti-anemia combination on a single plant. Hot varieties also carry capsaicin, studied for anti-inflammatory and pain-relieving effects. Set seedlings 12 to 16 inches apart, rows 36 inches apart in well-drained soil. Work some magnesium and phosphorus into the planting hole. The classic mistake: too much nitrogen. Hit peppers with high nitrogen and you get a gorgeous leafy bush with barely any fruit. Go easy. And when extreme heat above 85 degrees shows up, throw a light shade cloth over them at midday or the flowers will abort. Pick green for milder flavor, or let them ripen to red for more sweetness, more vitamin C, and full color. Slice them raw over a salad of greens and beans, and you just doubled the iron your body absorbs from the whole plate. Number 5. Bush beans, the dependable one. The crop that asks for nothing and gives back all summer. They germinate fast in warm June soil, often 5 to 8 days, and they're producing pods in 45 to 60. No babying required. Here's the part that surprised me. Beans carry a soluble fiber that creates something researchers call the second meal effect. Eat beans at lunch, and your blood sugar stays steadier, not just at lunch but at dinner, hours later. That fiber also ferments in your colon into short-chain fatty acids like butyrate, the preferred fuel for the cells lining your gut. And green beans are low FODMAP, one of the few high-fiber foods that's gentle on people with IBS. Direct sow, don't start them indoors. An inch deep, 3 to 4 inches apart, rows 18 to 24 inches, full sun. Because beans make their own nitrogen, skip the heavy fertilizer. The number 1 killer. Overwatering early. Too much moisture before they're established rots the seeds right in the ground. Water only when the top inch is dry. Once they're growing strong, keep them consistent. Pick at 4 to 6 inches while they're firm and snappy. Wait too long and the inside turns tough. And like okra, the more you pick, the more they give. A handful of fresh snapped beans that quietly steady your blood sugar into your next meal. Number 6. Carrots. They look ordinary and are anything but. Sowing carrots in mid-June is a genuinely strategic move. They germinate fast in warm soil, then mature through the cooling autumn, and that temperature drop converts their stored starch into sugar. June-sown carrots come out sweeter and crisper than anything you've grown in spring. Everyone knows the beta-carotene story. It becomes vitamin A. It protects your vision and your eye's macula. But carrots have a second, lesser-known compound, falcarinol. In animal research, falcarinol reduced colorectal tumor development in rats by roughly a third over 18 weeks. It's one reason carrots keep showing up in cancer prevention research, and you can't get that effect from an isolated supplement. You get it from the whole root. Direct sow, a 1/4 inch deep, 1.5 to 2 inches apart, in deeply worked, loose, rock-free soil. Clay soil? Use short-rooted varieties like Danvers so they don't come out forked. Carrot germination is painfully slow, 10 to 21 days, and the surface can crust over and block the sprouts. The old trick: mix in a few fast-sprouting radish seeds. They mark the row and break the crust for the carrots. Pull them as they size up in autumn. Cooler weather means sweeter roots, so patience pays. Roasted till caramelized, eaten raw and snappy. A sweet root quietly working on your eyes and your colon. Number 7. Cucumbers. The most refreshing thing in the summer garden, and it hides a real surprise. Direct seed into warm June soil, and they vine fast, with fruit ready in 50 to 70 days. The long June daylight is exactly what they want. Cucumbers are 95% water pure hydration with vitamin K and potassium. But here's the fascinating part. They contain compounds called cucurbitacins, the bitter ones, and in pharmacological research, these interfere with a signaling pathway that's often overactive in cancer cells, pushing those cells toward self-destruction. Now, here's the twist most people don't know. The plant only makes more of those compounds when it's stressed by drought. Keep it well watered for sweet cucumbers, and you suppress them. There's a genuine trade-off baked into how you water this plant. Sandy or loamy soil, slightly acidic, pH 6 to 6.5. Shallow roots mean steady, even moisture 1 to 2 inches a week. Drip irrigation is ideal because it keeps the leaves dry and fends off mildew. The mistake: inconsistent watering. Let cucumbers dry out and stress, and they turn bitter and inedible. Even moisture is the whole game for sweet fruit. Pick young and firm. The more you harvest, the longer the vine keeps setting fruit. Cool, crisp, hydrating slices straight off the vine on a 90-degree afternoon. Nothing from a store comes close. Number 8. Swiss chard. The green that laughs at summer. While your lettuce bolts and turns bitter, this one just keeps going. Most leafy greens collapse in June heat. Chard thrives in it, producing continuously from early summer right up to the first hard frost. Chard is a metabolic 2-for-1. It contains syringic acid, a compound shown to slow the enzyme that breaks starch down into sugar, meaning steadier blood sugar after a meal. And it's rich in natural nitrates, which your body converts into nitric oxide. Nitric oxide relaxes and widens your blood vessels, which helps bring blood pressure down. Blood sugar and blood pressure from one ridiculously easy plant. Direct sow or transplant, 1/2 inch to 1 inch deep, about 12 inches apart, rows 24 inches, well-drained soil, pH 6.2 to 6.8. Once it's hotter than 75 degrees, give chard a little afternoon shade. Without it, the mature leaves turn tough and bitter. That's the only thing that trips people up with this plant. Cut the outer stalks, and it keeps pushing new growth from the center for months. One sowing, an entire season of greens. Sautéed with garlic, stems, and all the rainbow stalks are gorgeous on the plate, and it's working on your circulation while you eat. Number 9. Beets. The one cardiologists keep talking about. Sow them in June, and they germinate fast in warm soil, reaching maturity in 50 to 70 days, root and greens, both edible. This is the blood pressure vegetable. Beets are loaded with inorganic nitrates that your body turns into nitric oxide, the same vessel-relaxing compound chard makes. But beets are one of the richest sources on the planet. That's why athletes drink beet juice before events, and why it keeps showing up in blood pressure research. On top of that, beets carry betalains, the pigments that make them deep red, strong free radical scavengers shown to help protect liver cells from oxidative damage, heart and liver in one root. Direct sow half an inch deep, 1 to 2 inches apart, in deep, loose, sandy soil, pH 6 to 7. Here's the one almost everyone misses. A beet seed is actually a cluster of several seeds. So you'll get clumps of seedlings, and if you don't thin them to 2 or 3 inches apart, they choke each other out and your roots stay small and woody. Thin them, be ruthless about it. Pull it golf ball to tennis ball size. Bigger than that and they turn tough and fibrous. And don't toss the greens, they're as nutritious as the root. Roasted till sweet and earthy, the greens sautéed alongside. A whole plant harvest that supports your blood pressure and your liver at the same time. Number 10, Malabar spinach. And here it is, the one I promised at the start. The one almost nobody grows, that most people have never even heard of. This isn't true spinach at all. It's a vigorous tropical climbing vine that can run 10 feet up a trellis, with thick, glossy, almost succulent leaves, and the red-stemmed variety is so beautiful people grow it just for looks. And here's why it's the perfect June crop. Remember how regular spinach and lettuce bolt and turn bitter the second it gets hot? Malabar spinach does the exact opposite. It loves the brutal heat and humidity that destroys every other green. June isn't too late for it. June is when it finally comes alive. Now the payoff. Gram for gram, Malabar spinach carries over 3 times the vitamin C of true spinach and more than 1.5 times the vitamin A of kale. Its thick leaves are dense with phenols and antioxidants that fight cellular damage. In traditional medicine, a poultice of the leaves has been used for generations to soothe boils, sores, and inflamed skin, and modern records back up its wound healing and anti-inflammatory use. It's also rich in calcium, iron, magnesium, and potassium. This obscure little vine quietly out-nutrients the famous greens everyone already grows. Sow 1/4 to half an inch deep in rich, moist soil, pH 5.5 to 7. Give it a sturdy trellis, it's a climber, and it'll use every inch. 2 things. 1, the seed coat is tough, so soak the seeds 12 hours before planting. 2, and this is the one that gets people keep the soil consistently moist. Let it dry out and it triggers premature flowering, which turns the leaves bitter. Keep it watered, and it stays sweet and tender all summer. Snip leaves and tender stem tips continuously. The more you cut, the more it branches and produces. 1 vine can feed you for the entire season. Sautéed like spinach, but it holds its texture instead of collapsing into mush. The most nutrient-dense green in your garden and the one nobody else on your street is growing. So picture it. Late summer, you walk out the back door before dinner. Okra and beans you'll pick by the handful. Chard and Malabar spinach climbing where nothing else would survive the heat. Beets pulling double duty under the soil. Peppers ripening red in the sun. And here's what's different about this garden. You're not just growing dinner. You're growing steadier blood sugar, lower blood pressure, a calmer gut, a liver that's getting help, eyes that are protected. Every bed out there is doing quiet work on your body that you'd otherwise be paying a pharmacy for. That's the part most people miss in June. They see the calendar and think they're late. You know better now. June isn't the end of the season for these 10 plants. It's the beginning of the most powerful one. If this helped you look at your garden a little differently, do me a quick favor and hit that thumbs up. It genuinely helps more people find the channel. And if you want more on what to grow, how to grow it, and how to turn your backyard into something that actually works for your health, subscribe so you never miss a new video. I'll see you in the next one.